Hi, I'm Ilana King. I'm an entrance exam specialist, and I want to talk to you today about teaching verbal reasoning for the 11 plus exams. Verbal reasoning reveals how a child takes on board new information by measuring their ability to engage with language. And verbal reasoning highlights a child's skills in verbal thinking above and beyond their formal literacy abilities. So you can see why so many schools test it as part of the 11 plus exam. Although lots of practice of verbal reasoning questions is really important, using it as the only way to teach can be so boring and overwhelming to a student. And with all elements of the exam, I always think it's really vital to bring in some fun. So I want to show you a great game you can use with your students. One type of question that students are likely to encounter is where they need to find the missing letters that are at the beginning or at the end of a word. And they may need to find just one missing letter, or it could be two missing letters. So to practice this in a fun way, you can play a game. All you need is a whiteboard. So you can have a physical whiteboard like this. I always have a pack of colored whiteboard pens because they're great fun. And I always seem to pick purple because that's my favorite. Or you can use an on-screen whiteboard for this. If you're teaching online, just use something like bit paper or something like that. And just have a list of words ready. And you can get these words just by looking at some practice papers for verbal reasoning, looking at that type of question, and then picking up on a few of the words from there and just having them ready so you know what you're going to use. You're going to begin to write one of these words on the right whiteboard, one letter at a time. And the aim is for the student to guess the word before you finish writing it. It's sort of like a race, and you can make it really exciting by, timing it. How quickly can they do it, or how few letters can they do it? The idea is it's a race for them to guess the word before you finished writing it. So, for example, you might do something like this. I'm going to have to try and write this way around, which is going to be tricky. So I'd go, okay, are you ready? I'm going to write the first letter. Ready? Okay, write the first letter. Let them look at it for a minute. Make it exciting. Okay, obviously they're not going to be able to guess it from that. Write the next letter. Okay, next letter. S-T. Okay, what could it be? Let's think. Okay. Next letter. Right, the next letter. Okay, S-T-O. And they might be starting to guess this. Stomp, stop. They could be guessing that. That's absolutely fine. You want them to be shouting out words. Come on, what do you think it is? What do you think it is? And then you can put the next letter. And of course, this could turn into lots of different, you can decide where you want to stop. So you might have a word in mind. So for example, you might have story in mind as the word, but they may say to you store. It doesn't matter. So long as they're guessing a word that it could be before you get to the end, that's okay, because it's a game, it's not the test. So remember, there's going to be more than one choice here that it could be. So, okay, great. So you can do that a number of times with lots of different words going forwards, right? Can they guess it before you get to the end? But once you've done that a few times, you can make it a bit more of a challenge by writing the word from the end first. And yes, I did just say from the end first. I know that's not how we normally do writing, but we're thinking about where they have to actually work out the first letter or the first two letters. You want to actually do it in reverse. So doing it this way is going to really help them with that. So for example, you might write this word, and I'm going to do it from the other side. So I'm going to start with the last letter. G. Okay, lots of words end in G. You might get them thinking about what kind of words end in G. ING words. Okay, let's see. What's the next one? Oh, yeah, it's an N. So we know it's probably an ING word. Okay, and I'm going to confirm that because I'm going to write the next one. Yes, it is an ING word. Okay, so there's a lot of ING words. They're not going to be able to guess it from that. Okay. Now, I know I've made a word here, but we've not finished the word. So now they can say ring, ring, ring. Okay, what could it be? And actually, the word I'm going for here is spring. But as you start to go backwards, you want them to kind of guess, what could it be? What could it be? What could it be? So the other thing you can do with this, of course, is turn the tables on them. Let them actually have the whiteboard. Get them to think of a word, and to write it on there for you to guess. Nothing better than having your student become the teacher. They absolutely love that, and it makes it really fun. I'm not suggesting, of course, that this is the only way that you practice for these questions. Of course not. And in my module where I talk about how to teach verbal reasoning for the 11 plus exams, we go through all kinds of different strategies on how you can help them actually tackle different question types. But what's really important to remember here is that you need to mix it up in your sessions. You can't just go through paper after paper after paper. It's dull, okay? So if you can throw in games like this to mix it up, and these games have value, we always want to bring value to a session. So it's really important that you think about how you're bringing value. If you're playing a game like this, is it bringing value to the session? And of course, in the case of this, it is. So I hope you found that game useful, and you can go straight away and use that with your students. You don't need to buy anything special for this. And I'd love to know if you did actually try this with one of your students and it worked. Put it in comments here on YouTube, or you can contact me and let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Thanks and goodbye.